5 minutes here. We'll open it up with Bill on the left.
JT, we know why you guys throw those bubbles and the stuff to the perimeter, that it opens everything up down the field, but correct me if I'm wrong, you also have freedom to count and check to that stuff if you want to too. And there were a few throws against Penn State that went for 5, 6, 7 yard losses. I'm just wondering, did you count wrong, and how delicate is that, trying to figure out when to do it, when not to do it?
No, it was really so I had a pitcher. We were playing pretty fast when those things happened. So the pitcher, before I call for the ball, I take a picture of the defense. Then while I call for the ball, the pitcher can change because we're playing so fast. And that's what happened.
Front row left, Doug.
JT, I just asked Urban about this. Some of the throws in the fourth quarter that you really ripped in through windows and made really good throws. He was talking about you and Ryan Day having drills where here's the drill and then here's how it would work in a game. Can you just explain that a little bit from your perspective, and maybe how some of those things helped you, and we saw it in the fourth quarter against Penn State?
Yeah, so for example, there's a baseball net that we have, and I have to get it. He calls it the 1-inch throw. So I have to rip the ball, and it's basically going barely over the net. And that is trying to simulate what a linebacker is getting depth, and you guys put it right over him, but you still kind of hit your guy, kind of drop it on him. And the only way to do that is to throw the ball, rip it, don't baby it. And also it could be one of those taller headshots, head or higher type of throws. And, I mean, that came up, for example, the one to Marcus at the end of the game, that was a 1-inch throw that we've repped a lot of times in practice.
Third row, fourth row left. Colin?
Over the last 2 games, you've had an 80% completion rate to your receivers. Can you kind of just talk about how, is there a time in your career in which you felt more accurate as a quarterback, as a passer?
I don't really know. I think one of the things we're doing very well is great conversation throughout the week on what we're going to expect from quarterback's perspective, and then also receivers, what kind of what you're going to be able to see, and then with that the conversation is good because then we'll be on the same page game day, and not just in practice but even walkthroughs on Saturdays. It's been great conversation. Receivers are doing a great job of being pros about that and trying to paint a picture, because walkthroughs is kind of hard because everybody's in sweats and things like that, but when you try to visualize it and put yourself in the game at those times, that's when the great things as far as the plays that were at the end of that game came up.
Far left, Lori.
JT, Iowa's obviously been making life miserable for a lot of opposing offenses. What do you see when you scout them?
Say it again.
Iowa's been making life miserable for a lot of opposing offenses. What do you see when you scout them?
When I scout the offense?
Iowa's defense has been making life miserable for opposing offenses.
Yeah. I mean, they've been running that defense a very long time. I remember we played them in 2013. It was one of those slug matches. I mean, they keep things in front of them. They're very smart. Everything's so detailed in what they do. And they have a lot of times they play older guys who've been in that system a while. And with that, just kind of, march it down the field the best you can. Understand third down is going to be critical. Can't get out of second and long. All those things are going to be important. But overall, they're not going to give you anything.
Fourth row, White. Andy?
JT, you just said that you remember the 13th game being a slug match. However, this is going to be the first time, obviously, you're going to be starting against them, as well as traveling out to Iowa City. What do you expect out of having to travel out that way, and what the crowd, everything you've heard about out there might be like?
I've watched, a couple of games out there. I remember, I think it was last year, the team up north had to go out there and lost in a tie one. Penn State won in the last play of the game. That's a tough place to play. So with that, got to make sure that, we're on top of everything. Everything's so critical as far as execution. So just make sure that we stay on top and make sure we execute.
And last couple questions, front row right, Austin.
JT, a couple people described after the game that it felt like you were in that zone that people talk about. Is that the way you felt, and can you describe, kind of what you were feeling if you were in it when you complete those 16 straight throws?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know until somebody told me at the end of the game. I mean, just complete the ball. Like, when it's a pass play, complete the ball. And I think it's, simple to say, difficult to do at times, but, I mean, at the end of the day, if there's a pass play as a quarterback, complete the football and make sure it's positive for us. So, no, I really didn't notice, but, I mean, I had a lot of other things to worry about than, if I'm 16 for 16.
And final questions, front row right, Tim?
But with that, there is a time, doesn't there come times in games or stretches where you do feel you're in a rhythm that everything's you're seeing almost ahead of time? Did it feel like that in that game at all, where everything just added up?
I mean, it was just difficult to. I mean, I felt like I was seeing it well, but I mean, it was, I guess, the circumstances we were in. We were down, the whole game, and offense, we were being stagnant. So, I mean, it wasn't like I was like, hey, JT, you're seeing it right now. It was like, well, we have to score touchdowns. So
yeah. My
focus was somewhere else. Whereas, I mean, if we were up, would that thought have came in my head? I mean, I'm not sure. It would have been more likely then than the circumstances we were in.
KJ Hill, in a nutshell, what has come around with him, especially this year? Obviously, he's filling some big shoes now with Paris, at least questionable for Saturday. He stepped up on Saturday, 12 catches. But what have you seen out of KJ?
Yeah, I mean, I've always felt comfortable throwing the ball to KJ. He's one of those guys that understands zone and man and spacing on the field and things like that. So he makes it easy for me as a quarterback. And then, I don't know, I think since he's been here, he's just kind of developed a better understanding of those things and what we're trying to do on certain plays. Even if he's not getting the ball, if he has to, create space, he understands that. So I think he just keep on getting better with that, and all the receivers are doing a great job with that.
And listen, JT, even if you're breathing now this week, you've got to be hearing at least some of the talk about you and the Heisman stuff and all this kind of stuff. How do you compartmentalize that? How do you keep that on the correct burner, if that's the correct term?
I don't know. The world we live in, it's it's kind of a microwave type of world. Like, not too long ago, I was at a spot where, people were saying that I shouldn't start. So I am aware of that. I'm older with that. And Coach Dates he told me, don't bite the apple. Like, people were, I guess it's more of an Adam and Eve type of reference. And with that, don't bite the apple, because once you think you have it, you don't. And with that, I think I'm just trying to do my best with that. I think the people around me, Coach Day, Coach Wilson, Coach Meyer, and my family members and mentors are doing a great job, friends, are just, not letting it get to me, and then just staying off of social media in order not to see that, because, like I said, it wasn't too long ago where I can't, I wasn't good enough, so.
Great. JT, thank you very much.